Welcome to this explainer. Today we're going on a literal adventure. Imagine you're tying up your shoes, grabbing your backpack, and heading out on a morning hike. And your guide? It's Jesus. That's the exact journey our source material is talking about today. We're looking at a classic piece of writing about what it really means to grow spiritually, how we learn, how we grow, and how we sometimes stumble along the way. But before we hit the trail, let me ask you something I think we can all relate to. Have you ever been fast asleep, just dreaming away in total, comfortable darkness, and suddenly someone walks in and just flips on the bright bedroom light? What do? You squint, you cover your eyes, maybe you literally pull the blankets right back over your head. It hurts, right? It's just way too much light, way too fast. Well, what we're exploring today shows us that God totally gets this about us. He doesn't suddenly flash this blinding light into our spiritual eyes or expect us to understand everything about the universe all at once. Like a morning sunrise. Okay, so getting to know God isn't like flipping a harsh switch in a dark room. Actually, it's a really beautiful, gradual process. It takes time. Let's look at a quote straight from the text. It says, "Then shall we know if we follow on to know the Lord. His going forth is prepared as the morning." That's from Hosea chapter 6, verse 3. Now, that might sound a tiny bit old-fashioned, but it just means God comes to us gently. I really want to put some emphasis on that word, morning. Think about what a morning actually looks like. It doesn't just happen in a single second. It's a slow, gentle awakening. Right, there's a distinct progression to a sunrise. First, when you wake up super early, the light breaks in a very dim, gentle way. You can barely see the outlines of the trees. But as time passes, the brightness increases and increases. You start to see colors, you see details, and finally the sun, which is described so beautifully here as the king of the day, marches into the heavens in all his glory. This is exactly how God reveals his truth to us. He gives us just enough light for the specific step we're currently on. Why? Because our human minds, whether you're 10 years old or 100, need time to handle it without getting completely overwhelmed. Section 2, too bright to handle. Let's see why this matters so much. So what would actually happen if God didn't use this gradual sunrise method? Well, if God's glory were to shine on us all at once in full force, we simply could not endure it. Think about staring directly into a blazing noon sun. It would permanently damage your eyes, right? In the same way, experiencing the full, blazing glory and absolute truth of the Creator all at once, it would be completely unendurable for us. We just aren't prepared for those brilliant rays yet. Our minds, our hearts, they need time to adjust to the light. And this brings us to a super profound concept from our text. This is exactly why Christ came in humanity. Jesus became a human being. Why? Because if he had come down to earth shining in all his heavenly glory, we literally wouldn't have been able to bear it. We would have run away and hid. So, by becoming human, he essentially veiled that blinding light. It allowed us to actually stand next to him, to walk alongside him, and to learn from him, step by step. Section 3. The back step downs. Now, anytime you go on a long hike, there are bound to be some stumbles. And we face a major problem on our adventure. We take steps toward heaven, moving forward with Jesus, learning new things, being kind. But then we take back steps into the world. We get distracted by selfish desires or just silly earthly things. We take a step back, then a step forward, then a step back. It's like this silly, frustrating dance where we use up a ton of energy but don't actually get anywhere. Understanding what happens when we do this little backstep dance is absolutely crucial. The text outlines 3 clear consequences when we backslide. First, we lose time. Second, we lose our strength. And third, and honestly this is the saddest part, we miss out on the glorious light. Because we aren't moving steadily forward, we aren't prepared for the new rays of light God was totally ready to show us. We literally miss the sunrise because we keep walking backward into the dark. But hey, please don't get discouraged. The author gives us this incredibly uplifting advice. Gather up your forces and go on. Even if you mess up, even if you do a little backstep dance every now and then, do not just sit down and stay there in the dark. It is infinitely better to gather up whatever strength you have left and just keep walking. Dust yourself off, stop the silly dance, and take that very next step forward. Section 4. Keep walking forward. Let's look at where this is all heading. If we commit to stopping that backstep dance, there is an absolutely incredible destination waiting for us. When we finally complete our journey and enter the city of God, 3 amazing things happen. First, Jesus will lead us by living waters. Second, he educates us. And third, he talks with us about wonderful things. Just imagine that. The text tells us Jesus will sit down and explain all the amazing things he always wanted to teach us on earth, but that our minds simply couldn't handle back then. It's kind of like the ultimate, most fascinating school, and the creator of the universe is your personal teacher. He has prepared wonderful things for us. There are rich blessings and precious truths just waiting to be opened to our understanding. God has so much he wants to share with you. All he asks is that we try our best to comprehend them with the light we have right now, hold onto his hand, and just keep walking. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought to really chew on. The sun is currently rising. The morning light is getting brighter and brighter with every passing moment. And Jesus? He's walking right there ahead of you on the path. So will you leave those back steps behind and take the next step forward? The greatest adventure is waiting for you. Keep walking, keep learning, and keep stepping into the light. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you on the trail.